Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description. So this video is going to be kind of along the same lines as the last video that I made, but not entirely. Mainly because we're going to be talking still about meditation and journeying, but for different things. We're not exactly going to be working with spirits and gods and goddesses and divinity with this particular subject, but it still is important for spiritual growth. Because once again, if you are doing magic or spiritual practice and you expect to not have to grow and change, you're going to have a bad time or you're not going to go anywhere with it. So, it's like going to the gym and not expecting to build muscle. Why are you there? You could say, "Oh, I'm there for cardio health." Okay, well then great, you're still improving something. So, don't give me that argument. Anyways, so if you are maybe you're not familiar with different psychological theories and stuff, there is the idea of parts work, which means, and based on different psychological approaches to different kinds of therapies and things like that, one of the things that is most pertinent to this kind of discussion, especially when we're talking meditation and spirituality and journeys and things like that, is the idea of what's called parts work, or you could also term it internal family systems. Now, we're going to kind of take those ideas a little bit. I'm just going to cherry pick the things that are important and then kind of drop them in this box that is this video. But everybody has problems. Sorry, you're not perfect. Everyone has problems. Everyone has trauma. Everyone has different things that you have gone through that suck and that influence you to this day, even though that happened years ago. I have stuff that happened 18 years ago that still makes my life suck today, and I'm still working at it, right? I have stuff that happened last week or even last night that's kind of making my day a little sucky right now. But a little bit of caffeine because I can't have coffee anymore. Nope, can't say that stuff. Don't want to get flagged. Anyways, mm. So you got to think of it this way: in meditation and journeying, if you have a difficulty that is still bringing problems up for you, like let's think of an example. Maybe you have anxiety about driving on the highway because 10 years ago, when you were driving on the highway, you got into an accident. So you don't like going on the highway and you go on the back roads all the time. And it takes you extra time to get everywhere because you won't take the highway because you're too afraid to do that. Well, there's a way of going about it spiritually to interact with that kind of thing and to work with it and to heal it. So it's called parts work. Now, think of it this way. How old were you when you were on the highway and you got into that accident? Let's just say hypothetically, you were 18, whatever. You go into a meditative state, starting with, meditating, counting your breathing in, out, 1, 2, 1, 2, what have you. And then, once you are deep and relaxed enough, you can maybe explore going to your house when you got back from that bad experience, or whenever you feel like it hit you the hardest, because there's like the event, and then there's when everything comes crashing into you, and you're like, wow, I just went through that, and I am broken, I am damaged, da 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 da. Like for example, a breakup might not be that exact moment when you broke up, but it might be when it hit you afterwards, when you and that person physically separated, and you went into your room to cry your eyes out, stuff like that. So if I was to journey to that, I'd go into the room where, crying your eyes out. But I think you're picking up what I'm putting down here. You journey to that person. That was you. At that age. That was you. When that particular problem happened. Because maybe other people were there for you, but clearly not in the way that you needed them to be, because you're still dealing with that kind of stuff. So you can journey to that 8-year-old version of you that got picked on as a kid. You can journey to that 18-year-old version of you that got into that car accident. And you can interact with them, see what their energy is like, what their feelings are like. What are they going through at that moment that you can handle now because you are much more older and much more mature? How can you hold space for and be there for yourself when you are much older and wiser? And How can you help handle? How can you help your 16-year-old self, 8-year-old self, whatever, handle that situation now that you are much older and wiser? You can interact with yourself. You bring up that part of you that is damaged or hurt or traumatized, and you can go over there and you can do any number of things. You can do energetic cleansing on them if that is something that you are into. You can give them Reiki. You can do a healing on them if you have a certain modality or something like that, whether it's the, you know, Reiki energy healing, doing a chumpy healing, a Nusi healing, something with the Pachikudi Mesa. We teach all that here on this channel. Well, definitely let me know if you want to do one-on-ones with that. Check the email down there. Anyways, and by healing this kind of thing, or healing this certain part of you, then it has less of an impact on the person that you are now. So if you have that accident, on the highway, and it makes you more afraid of going on the highway, then by interacting with that past version of you that got hurt and traumatized by that particular thing, that has less of an impact on you. That will have less of an impact on you because you're clearing the energy away from it. You're looking at it more rationally than emotionally, less reactively, and more, hey, this happened. It's not me anymore. I can heal it and move on. I can let that heal and I can treat that scar, and then it won't impact me as much. And then you might find yourself driving on the highway, for example. So think of it this way. Whenever something comes up for you that's bringing up something in the past, first question you got to ask yourself is, how old am I right now? And is this coming up for me because of something that happened when I was 7 or 8 or 12 or what have you? How old do you feel right now? And then you can start to target, hey, this thing that I'm reacting to now, I'm reacting because I have a scar or damage or an energetic imprint from a similar situation that happened so many years ago. And you go and you meditate and you interact with that version of you, that age of you that had that particular issue or that particular first impact. This could even be done with stage fright and stuff. You don't like getting up and doing presentations at work, maybe because you were made fun of during a class presentation when you were in 4th grade, or maybe you did show and tell and people made fun of you and whatever. As much as I've slightly alluded to little things that happened to me, that's not one of them, because I always had really good stuff at show and tell. Let me check my notes for a second here. Yep, let's see. So think of it this way. I love this phrase. The only two people that you have to please are the 8-year-old you and the 80-year-old you. If you've ever heard of that, that's huge, because you want to make the 80-year-old you, or the 8-year-old you, proud of who you are now. And you want the 80-year-old you to be like, yeah, he's working his butt off, something like that. So you could even do that kind of parts work thing, not only as you can journey to a younger version of you, but even an older version of you. On the older version of you side, think of all the different things you're doing right now. What are you building towards? What are you doing? If that trajectory continues, where are you going to be when you're 80? You can journey and see that, right? You can see what all the different things that you're doing, both positive and negative, right now, are leading you towards. And then you journey to yourself 80 years old. What's that look like? Is that good? Is that positive? Are you happy with that? Because if not, then you can decide to take action and change that kind of thing. So you're going to arguably, man, we're getting crazy in here. Change timelines, if you want to use more hippie terms. So you're not going to go towards this 80-year-old version of you that is sad. You're going to go towards this 80-year-old version of you that's living on a yacht, right? Or maybe you don't like boats. They have a private jet. There you go. And then you can get an idea of these are the different things that I need to shift. You can talk to that 80-year-old version of you, and they might say, I regret this. I regret that this happened. I regret I never did this. I regret I never put any more time into this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. If you've ever interacted with the elderly, they will talk about the different things that they did and the different things that they wish they did. So journeying both to an older and of a younger version of you can get and give you an idea of, hey, you in the present. Clear all the stuff, all your baggage, and then where are you going to go? And what is that going to make you when you get to 80 years old? Now, if you're watching this and you're 79, maybe go to 85-year-old you and see where that is. Anyways, so I might make more further elucidations on this topic, but this is just another journeying meditation, kind of a modality that you can use in terms of spiritual growth and healing. If you like this video, definitely drop a like on it. Give me a comment or a question if I might have not been clear enough on anything that you might have wanted a little bit more of an explanation of, because I might make a part 2 and whatever. If I have not made a video topic on something you would like me to talk about, definitely drop that in the comments too. But also check my huge backlog of other videos. Also, my latest novel just came out. It is called A War of Voices. I do want to toot my own horn and say that it is a great read if you like fantasy and horror and stuff. It's basically as if you took It from Stephen King, Stranger Things, and A Word on Bathroom Walls and put them in a blender. Anyways, so I'm going to try to remember to have a link to the book be in the description down below. But anyways, let me know what you thought of this one. Go get my book. And good hunting.